Hello again, it's Raisa, Shafira, Affandi. This time, we're looking at ballads and popular music. We'll connect the elements of poetry to the songs we love. Let's begin. The learning objectives for this module are 1. To understand the characteristics of the ballad form. 2. To be able to identify the similarities of traditional ballads and modern or contemporary popular music. And 3. To be able to think critically about how the ballad form makes it musical. So, what is a ballad? When you think of a ballad, you may think of a romantic love song with heartfelt lyrics. But did you know that the ballad has its roots in poetry? Traditionally, ballads were poems that told a story and were accompanied by music. They are typically composed of 4-line stanzas with an A-B-A-B or A-B-C-B rhyme scheme. Many ballads have a refrain, which is a line or stanza that repeats throughout the poem. Sound familiar? That's because this is the form that most modern-day songs use. They often have a chorus, which repeats throughout the song. Ballads then and now. We can see on the left a painting from 1635 depicting somebody performing a ballad to an audience. He has it written down on a piece of paper, and people, young and old, are listening. A similar situation arises almost 400 years later, such as in Adele's concert in Munich. She's performing her own ballads also to a crowd of varying demographies to entertain them with lyrics and music. So, what are the similarities between ballad, the poetic form, and ballad, the popular music form? To do that, let's look at the rhythm of each. First, we have a poem called Barbara Allen from 1832. What's the rhythm like in this poem? Which meter and feet does it use? So I'm going to read it, and in the second stanza, I'll clap during the stressed syllables to give you a better sense of the beat or rhythm. In Scarlet Town where I was born, there was a fair maid dwellin', made every youth cry, well away, her name was Barbara Allen. All in the merry month of May, when green buds they were swellin', young Jemmy Grove on his deathbed lay for love of Barbara Allen. So we can see this as an iambic tetrameter or trimeter, 3 or 4 iambs per line. Now, let's look at an example in popular music. Let's try reading it out loud without singing first, and like before, I'll clap in the stressed syllables of the second stanza. When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. And in my hour of darkness, she is standing right in front of me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. So, as you can see, there's a very similar pattern to Barbara Allen from before. The iambic tetrameter or trimeter makes it suitable for a 4/4 beat, which is the beat used for most pop music. This makes the transition into pop music very easy. Now, let's go a little bit deeper with how stressed and unstressed syllables work in popular music. Here's another example from Olivia Rodrigo's Driver's License. What is the rhythm of these lyrics? Let's try reading it casually first. I got my driver's license last week, just like we always talked about, 'cause you were so excited for me to finally drive up to your house. But today I drove through the suburbs crying 'cause you weren't around. So you can see here the pattern of stressed and unstressed syllables is a little bit similar to the ballad poetry form. But again, since this is music, let's go a bit deeper. How does this pattern fit into the melody? I'll try singing it out a bit. I got my driver's license last week, just like we always talked about, 'cause you were so excited for me to finally drive it to your house. But today I drove through the suburbs, crying 'cause you weren't around. So you can maybe notice that in this song in particular, the stressed syllables have longer or higher notes, Driver's license last week. Isn't that interesting? That even music can support the pronunciation of stressed and unstressed syllables and take the pattern in ballads poetry form a little bit further. Now, this song is a very neat example of this, but try paying attention to other songs that you like that are written in English. Very often, they'll have around 4 stressed syllables per line, or per bar if we use music terms. And very often, the stressed syllables will be stressed in the melody too, whether it's through length, making them longer, pitch, making them higher, or just generally standing out. And you can remember that this pattern of organizing stressed and unstressed does have its roots in poetry, particularly the ballad form. Now let's talk about poetry in songs. Aside from the rhythm, there's also images and ideas and meaning, right? Ballads and song lyrics are still a form of poetry, so they may use any of the poetic devices and elements that we've talked about previously in this course, such as similes, metaphors, speaker and addressee, the flow of time, appealing to the 5 senses, and more. So what's your favorite song? Do the lyrics maybe mean something deeper when you look at them with the tools we've discussed in this course? Now let's review what we've learned in this module. In poetry, the characteristics of ballads are they usually tell a story, they're often accompanied by music or dancing, they have 4-line stanzas with ABAB or ABCB rhyme scheme, they often have a refrain or a part which repeats throughout the poem, they often use iambic tetrameter, sometimes in combination with iambic trimeter, so 4 or 3 stressed syllables per line. Ballads are also closely related to music. The structure of modern music's lyrics often follows that of the ballad poem. The rhythm of its words is incorporated into the song's melody a lot of the time. Great work! You might never hear your favorite songs the same way again. See you in the next session.